Flipper Dave here. Today I'm going to show you how to get into flipping. Now on my channel, I flip things like lawnmowers, weed eaters, lawn equipment, small engines, things like that. But most of this applies to really anything you could possibly flip. Couches, grills, cars, anything you want. So I have a lot of tips here. I'm going to go over them with you, and then I'm going to tell you about my experiences and tips that I've learned along the way, things that I have questions about, maybe that I could get from you, the viewer, and let's get into it. So I haven't been flipping that long. I've only recently started about a couple weeks ago, and off the bat I've already noticed a couple of things. First, you want to start small, because flipping's kind of an unknown. You're buying something, you don't know much about it, you're seeing it online only. $20 is all you need to start. I wouldn't buy any push mower for more than that, because you're not going to get that much back out of it if it's just a push mower. Start small, don't have a lot of money invested into this at first, until you can build your business, build your reputation on Marketplace, and kind of just have a natural flow to the entire flipping process. Additionally, you want to build up some money on the side. So when you get paid out for the things that you start to flip, keep that in a separate pile and reinvest that back into your business, whether it means tools to fix things, to invest into other things that you're going to buy and flip, and start upgrading. So after maybe 5 to 10 push mowers, maybe buy a self-propelled lawnmower, because those go for a lot more. And you'll most likely double your money if you can buy the right lawnmower and sell it for the right price. So $20 to $25 for a push mower. You can clean that thing up, new spark plug, filter, whatever it needs, maybe a cable. You can get 50 bucks out of it. So you want to apply that to the more expensive items like self-propelled lawnmowers or even riding lawnmowers. You buy a tractor mower for 200 bucks, maybe it just needed a battery. The guy had a lot of money and he didn't feel like fixing it, so it was just go buy a new one for him. So buy it for $200, clean it up, maybe $50 in repairs. You could probably get $400 to $500 for that mower if you could sell it right on Marketplace. Now when you first start, you want to start fixing things for cheap. And now I don't mean doing it the wrong way. I'm saying do it frugally and smart. So if you have a broken pull cord on a lawnmower, maybe don't go buy the entire assembly. Take the assembly apart, learn how everything goes back together, and just replace the cord. Okay? So an entire assembly might cost you close to $20 to $30. A pull cord is $5. It even comes with the new knob on the end. I use paracord, and I actually had some laying around. It was perfectly fine. It's actually stronger than the lawnmower cord and it doesn't deteriorate as fast. And I actually have a YouTube short up on my channel. You can go check that out, of how I restrung a lawnmower reel with paracord, and it works perfectly fine, if not better. Things like that. Sharpening the blades yourself instead of buying a new one. All of those cheaper fixes will add up over time, especially if you're talking about a $20 to $30 profit on something. You really don't want to be spending a lot of money trying to fix these things. So make sure you check out what you're buying, see what it needs before you hand over the money. I got burned on my first lawnmower. I bought the mower for $25. I didn't check it out. I loaded it up in my truck and I left. Well, I get home, I start it up, and it shakes a lot. So I'm like, what's going on? I look underneath, and the shaft is completely bent. And I'm like, okay, well that's not good, because that whole motor is trash now. So what I had to do is I took the engine off, I took the blade off, and I have to sell everything separately now, which is going to take more time, and that's more time that your money is invested into this project. I recently sold the lawnmower deck for $20, so I got my money back out of it. But I'm having to sell this engine for $20, and it's going to be a hard sell, because who wants to buy an engine with a bent shaft? Maybe someone that needs parts off that engine for their lawnmower, but that's a very niche customer. The blade I listed for $10, so if I do sell everything like I want to, I'll still double my money, but it's going to take me like 4 times as long to sell it. So make sure you're checking out what you're buying. Make sure that it can be fixed cheaply, and make sure that you can double your money. Now when it comes time to sell your lawn equipment or your couch or your grill, whatever you're selling, try to make a professional listing on Facebook, okay? Take lots of pictures, clean up whatever you're selling, high quality pictures. Make sure you can get a tag. If there's a tag where it says the model number or a serial number or the brand, the make, anything like that, try to put that in there just to be as transparent as possible. Write a good description of what it entails, what it comes with, how it works, how well it works, all of that type of stuff. Now, when you start buying your equipment, try to stick to a few reputable brands that are easy to fix. You know the common problems with them. You can easily find parts for them, and it's easy to troubleshoot. If you stick to like 2 to 3 brands, Honda, Briggs & Stratton, Toro, those are reputable lawnmower brands where it's easy to find parts for them. They're cheap fixes, and most of the time they're reliable. You might not even need to fix it. If you start that thing up and it runs perfectly fine, there's no need to take the carburetor off or the spark plug. Check the air filter, maybe blow it out with an air chuck or something, but really there's no reason to get into it. If it runs fine, flip it. But if it doesn't, it would be easier to fix in the long run if you do it a bunch of times with brands that you know. And the more and more you do this, the more you're gonna learn about those brands. So you're gonna be an expert at those brands. And it's just gonna be like this, it'll be nothing to you to flip a Honda lawnmower or a Briggs & Stratton lawnmower, because you'll know exactly how much it's worth as it sits. You'll know how much it's worth when you sell it, and you'll know how much you have to spend to fix it. So there's no questions. And like as I mentioned before, if you buy a lawnmower that doesn't work, that has like a vent shaft or something to where it's too hard to fix, part it out. You don't even have to sell the parts. You could keep a stockpile of parts over time. You have Honda gaskets, carburetors, springs, fuel lines, blades, stuff like that for those specific parts. That's another reason why you want to stick to certain brands, so you have all those parts in stock in your shed or your garage, so you don't even have to run to the store. You already have parts. Now let's talk about tools. You will need some tools to get started in the lawn mowing flipping industry, I guess you could call it. You don't need a lot, okay? A cheap socket and ratchet set from Harbor Freight will get you by. If you have an impact driver, great. If you have a drill, great. But you don't need all that starting out. Now, it might be beneficial to you to invest in that over time if you can prove to you that this works and that this makes you money, great. But for now, needle nose pliers, dikes, a couple wrenches, even crescent wrenches, to be honest. Like you don't need a lot. Simple socket set, metric and standard, ratchet, 1/4 inch drive and 3/8 drive, maybe a 1/2 inch drive for lawnmower blades, some Phillips screwdrivers, some flathead screwdrivers. You can buy a Phillips and flathead screwdriver kit of all different sizes for like $15 at Harbor Freight. And if a tool breaks, they have a warranty program, so it's not a big deal. All of that in a little tool bag and you'll be good to go. Now, you'll need a place to do all this, but you won't even need a garage. I don't have a garage. I have a tiny 5x3 shed that I can't even fit my lawn equipment in. I have a little tool bag and I go out to my backyard and I work. There's another reel on my channel that has a little shed tour that shows you how small my shed really is. So there's really no excuses. If you have a backyard or a side yard, you can get this done. There's no problem. Maybe a couple tarps to put over your stuff so it doesn't get rained, but you really shouldn't be having this stuff for weeks on end. You should be buying it with the intent to sell it. I'll be making a ton of videos on my experiences with flipping. I'm going to be very transparent about my profits, how long it took me to do it, how long it took me to sell it, the fixes that were involved, and I'll film the entire thing. So go ahead and click that subscribe button if you'd like to see that, and thanks for watching.